we're gonna do something pretty fun. Usually, this is our first time doing it, but since like the league phase is over, Stefan and I thought the Old Big Ears podcast would create a starting 11 for basically the Champions League team of the league phase. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and yeah, we're gonna try and create a team. And yeah, there'll probably be a lot of disagreements, but hopefully we'll come out with a pretty solid looking starting 11. So yeah, I will share my screen right now, and yeah, for those who aren't watching, don't worry, we'll be giving detailed descriptions of the players' positions on the field. Yeah, so we'll also be posting this on our social media page as well. So yeah, I mean, okay, who do you think should go on goalie, Stefano? I'm gonna ask you first. I'm gonna give you the honors.
Well, I would definitely say for me it's going to be Courtois. It's always going to be Courtois for me, simply due to the fact that he just been in every game he's been clutch. He's made sure that Real Madrid, especially in the beginning games, the first games, didn't get out of hand the scoreline, and he's been consistent every game. So I would have to give it to him.
I'm sorry, but I would. Okay, you can say it's Swiss bias, but I'm giving it to Jan Sommer. I will explain why. Okay, we're starting off in a disagreement. I can put Courtois as a sub, but yeah, all I'm saying is for Jan Sommer. Okay, like it's hard because it's like there's only one position for goalie, right? But it's really hard. But if you look at Jan Sommer in terms of stats, like this is not even like bias. He's only conceded one goal in 8 games. 21 of 22 shots on target were denied. He has the best save percentage of the competition. So, I mean, the thing of goalkeepers is like really dependent on stats, if you think about it, right? So, like, can you deny that, or you still think Courtois? Like, let's be real.
I'm still thinking Courtois though with this one. I still have to say that.
But how can you deny like the stats though for like Jan Sommer? Like he's literally only conceded one goal in 8 games. Like Inter have like all the yeah.
But he has a better defensive lineup for him that's backing him up. I mean, Real Madrid's, everybody knows for the most part, Real Madrid's defensive lineup has not been the best, or defensively have not been the best in Champions League in particular in the first games, right? So Courtois has had more to do, whereas Jan Sommer has had less to do defensively. Or sorry, goalkeeping wise.
Okay.
I have to go Thibaut. I'm Thibaut all the way.
Okay, you go Thibaut. Okay, fun.
It's Thibaut.
Okay.
It's Thibaut.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm gonna go for center back. So for right center back, I'm thinking. You know what? Like I was thinking, I was gonna do William Saliba for Arsenal, and that would sound good. But you know what? I'm actually gonna give it to Gabriel. Hear me out. Whoa. The reason why I'm gonna give it to Gabriel is he's definitely like a most improved kind of player. Like, of course, Saliba's more talented, but Gabriel, if you see, is like he's almost kind of like on a redemption arc, because when he started playing at Arsenal, he was really hot-headed and like kind of like inconsistent. But now he's become so more consistent. His game's become so more consistent. He's like the reason why Arsenal are corner FC. Like he scores so many goals from corners, from headers. So I mean, he's such a big part of like Arsenal's identity as like corner FC. I know it's kind of a joke, but still, they get a lot of goals from corners. Okay, True. And he's like a big reason why that's the case. And he's just really good at defending and like doing things what a defender does. He's just like the complete all-round modern center back who's improved so much. He's a big reason why I think Arsenal have the best defense in Europe. I still believe that, and why they could go really far in this competition. Like initially when I was thinking, like I saw these stats of like Arsenal are going to be like they're the third most likely to win Champions League. They have these high stats. I still think it's a little over the top, but then stats don't lie at the end of the day. And if you look at the reason why, it's because of players like Gabriel. So I'm going to give that to Gabriel. And then I'm going to put Saliba as a substitute.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Because, again, like you said, like the Gabriel, it's not just, but the thing is, it's not just the set piece. It's not just the corner, you know, that he's efficient at. It's defensively, he's just really holds that line, you know, properly and correctly. and
Yeah,
he's just been a solid player for them, attacking wise, defensively, and he hasn't made many mistakes, right? Like, I mean, Saliba hasn't made many mistakes either, but he doesn't have that jump. He doesn't have that elite jumping, I guess you could say, jumping capability to get headers, like you said, on the set piece, which is a differentiating factor.
yeah.
And
Like
why,
Saliba,
and
no,
why
Gabriel's
Gabriel
definitely.
gets picked over Saliba in this
Yeah,
case.
Gabriel gets more. He's got more goals,
Yep.
obviously, which is not the most important factor, but
But it
sometimes
provides
it's,
it provides them with the tie, or it provides them with the win potentially
yeah, from
because of
corners
his
and set
goal,
pieces. Basically, he's
right?
basically a really big threat on set pieces for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Bonucci. Like a Bonucci,
Yeah.
Bonucci had the same thing where he was really solid in defense, but then also had that attacking capability in heading the ball in set pieces and stuff like that.
Actually, I was thinking of putting
I agree with
Saliba.
you. What?
Huh?
No.
I was really who are you gonna put as the other center back? Who are you gonna put as the other center
It's
back?
Rudiger, man. Come on.
Really? Okay.
What are we doing?
Explain why Rudiger.
So
Why Rudiger?
Rudiger has been the only consistent center back for Real Madrid. Period. He is, and he scored a goal as well in Champions League. Can't forget that he did score a goal in their way, in one of their match days, which was important
Against Stuttgart.
So
first game, yeah.
He has the attacking prowess, very similar to Gabriel. Can do this, have this attacking prowess to him, but defensively he's been very solid for Real Madrid, and he's the only real defender on Real Madrid that's been solid for them. And the amount of tackles he does, he's kept also, like I said, his praises about him. But Rudiger also kept the scoreline down when it could have been worse for Real Madrid, which could have led them getting a Real Madrid to actually come back in certain games. And then again, Rudiger also amazing captaincy, I guess you could say, of the defense. I don't think he's a captain. He might be. I don't know. But captaining the defense, he definitely does, for sure. And that is very important, especially for a Real Madrid side that's lacking in defense. So
yeah, because now they have so many.
Now have too many. Like they have to force to put too many as a center back. But come on.
Yeah.
Who would be sub though to Rudiger? That'll leave open because I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing I could say is like a Marquinhos or something. I don't know.
Either Marquinhos or Acerbi or Bastoni.
Acerbi's a good one.
But who would you say is the best out of the Inter defenders? I'll give it to Inter because they've done better than PSG.
Yeah.
So who you would know better than me? Would it be Acerbi or?
Well, Bastoni got a goal, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's not about goals.
Yeah, but it's what they provide though. It's what they provide to the team. I think the only thing is Bastoni has also made defensive errors, which is really big. He has. I've seen it.
Okay, I'm giving it to Acerbi.
I would probably go Acerbi just for the defensive solidity of him, for Inter. And again, like I said, Jan Sommer's barely been tested because of his center backs really saving him from having to save, right? As many as he could.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting to the fullbacks. This one, I don't think you can really deny it, but it's not. He's not really a true fullback, but
you have to. I think we're thinking the same. Yeah, we have to put
the same thing. Who are you thinking?
I think it's Grimaldo.
Grimaldo. Okay,
left back.
Yeah, left back. I'm gonna put in Grimaldo.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put in Grimaldo.
He isn't a true left back, but again, you're not gonna fit him in as an attacking midfielder. You're not gonna put him as a center mid. Grimaldo, though, regardless, he needs to get in there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so you put him as a left back. And defensively, he is solid, though. He is solid.
Yeah, no, Grimaldo. The thing with Grimaldo is he's just, he's like the way he's like his crosses are so pinpoint. He's got that really big like threat when it comes to free kicks. He's like really good at like dead ball situations. Just so many, and he's got pace as well. Oh, he also in terms of assists, 2 expected assists, over 2 expected assists, 13 chances created, 20 shots.
Is there any is there a defensive stat on him or no? Like balls won or something like that? Or...
Actually, he's averaged over 5 ball recoveries. Averaged over 5 ball recoveries per 90.
Per 90. So that's pretty good.
And winning 63.8% of his duels, and he's like pretty short as well. He's like 5'7".
Yeah.
Um,
He holds possession too. Like he's gonna be able to
yeah,
hold the possession for them.
yeah, and he's like the most effective up and down left wing back in Europe, essentially,
Yeah, yeah.
with along with Federico Dimarco.
And
But the
Dumfries.
thing with
And Dumfries.
Dimarco
Don't
is
forget Dumfries though.
no,
Dumfries.
but Dumfries plays on the other side.
That's true. But
Yeah,
if we're talking about like
no, we're talking about left wing back. So it's
yes,
yeah.
okay.
The thing
Wing
with
backs in
Dimarco,
general, Dumfries. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
I
no,
had to
but
give him a shout out though.
no, yeah, but in terms of like Federico Dimarco, the thing is he didn't play enough minutes. So I think because of that, I'm going to put like Dimarco as a sub.
Yeah.
Although if
Yeah.
he had played more, I could have easily started
Marco got a goal
over.
as well for. Actually, it's probably. I think he's got a couple goals. I think he has like 2 goals, if I'm not mistaken, in Champions League so far. So yeah, you would definitely put Demarco there for sure.
Yeah, no, for
You
sure.
got to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. For left back, oh, no, sorry, we already did left back. For right back, I think I'm gonna go Jules Koundé. Like he's just so attacking for Barcelona. Koundé. Like thing is like yeah, he's just like especially like a lot of the games where Barcelona's like absolutely like destroyed opponents like against Red Star Belgrade. He also got in the mix too with like assists. I don't know if he scored, but he definitely got assists in. He's just really consistent. Not much needs to be said there. I've heard like across the board, and he's like a proper right back. He's not like Ronaldo where we're kind of like putting him in the left back position. Like he's a proper Kunde's a proper fullback, best right back in Europe right now. So
I agree
yeah, I'm
with
giving
that.
that to Kunde. You agree, right?
Yeah, Koundé, and then you go Hakimi. So, right?
Would I go Hakimi? Oh yeah, no Hakimi.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would.
Hakimi's
Actually,
fine.
to be honest, think of Hakimi. Actually, the thing is, I found Hakimi is the most consistent player for PSG across the 8 games in
Yeah.
the league phase. Although like he wasn't as influential as in the really big moments like Dembele was in the last 2 matches against like Man City and Stuttgart. Throughout the 8 games when like Dembele was not playing well, Hakimi just was really consistent and did his job every single game. And you know he's like that's like a thing that like because we're looking at the best players in like the first 8 games. We're not looking like we're looking through the entire league phase. So if we're looking at the entire league phase, Hakimi was PSG's best player. You can agree with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
definitely
so
agree
that's
with
why
that.
that's why I'm putting him as a sub. He was
Yeah.
just like really consistent, kept the team glued together. Like even in those games where PSG were playing horrible against Atletico, and that's things like that. Like Hakimi was the only one who was like professional. Like
Yeah.
all the other players were just like screwing around, whereas Hakimi was very like composed. Um, this is where things get interesting. Who do you want? Who do you want to put in center mid?
I think you probably put Bellingham for sure there. Bellingham makes sense defensively. You know, he was solid for them when he had to play center mid. He was forced to play it, right, from Ancelotti, but he filled that role excellently. I would definitely put Bellingham there for sure. I think
Yeah,
most
no,
people would agree.
no, Bellingham. Bellingham is definitely on
He
the
filled his
rise.
role because obviously typically he's a center attacking midfielder. Like player 9, 10, 8, that's where he would be, right?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
center mid, he filled it in correctly and perfectly, and I would actually probably say when he needed to, because Ancelotti put him there, right? So I would definitely put
for sure.
Bellingham there. And then just behind him, I would definitely put Modric for sure. Modric.
Yeah,
Makes sense there. He got.
Part of me's like Modric. Really? Does he have that?
Yeah, he's provided lots for Real Madrid.
Yeah, no, actually he does. Yeah, no, actually now when I think about it, yeah, certain games like the Dortmund game, he was also like huge.
Yeah, you have to say that. You have to say that.
No, he was.
Yeah.
Like so. No, I'm definitely. Yeah. Okay, Bellingham, Modric, and then player 6. This might come as a surprise, but it's João Neves. For PSG, especially like in like the recent games, match day 7 and 8.
Then probably like definitely I agree with the Neves. Yeah, again, match day 8. Just really been amazing.
But even throughout the whole like the whole like league phase format, Neves has been super like consistent. Like, and he's been pulling the strings everywhere. Like, for example, if you think about it, Neves is like basically he's really been really dynamic. He's just got the athleticism of a young player that you would expect. Like he's just got that energy. Yeah, so I'm adding João Neves because basically with Neves, he's everything you want from like a young center attacking midfielder. He's just extremely dynamic. He always attacks with intensity, and yeah, he's especially when in the PSG Man City game, like he was everywhere. And he's really good at when it comes to technique. He's really technical, but he's almost got like the technique of like a prime, okay, like a Barcelona La Masia
Yeah,
magician,
yeah,
but then the athleticism as well of like a Premier League attacking midfielder.
yeah.
It's like a good combination, and yeah, he's just got excellent stats to back it up as well. And yeah, and he's also doesn't seem to be weighed down by all the drama that like a young star at PSG would be facing. Like for example, Mbappe at PSG or Neymar when they were at PSG, they faced like a lot of like this like external pressure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
affected their actual like playing. Whereas Neves seems to be really chill about it. He's like just a chill guy, you know. So yeah, that's why I would put Neves there. Who do you think you're gonna put like as a sub for Neves?
Vitinha. I think it's gotta be Vitinha. He's also amazing for PSG.
Yeah, no,
I'll
yeah, no,
probably
he's
go
definitely
Vitinha.
Vitinha. Yeah,
I mean, who else is bossing up the
yeah,
midfield? In
yeah,
Champions
yeah,
League for the most part,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. No, it's
It's
true.
true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Center attacking mid. This is so hard for me. It's like either Ademola Lookman or Antoine Griezmann. Honestly,
Well,
this is
Antoine
hard.
Griezmann goes
I'll put him as a sub. I'm putting Griezmann as
sub
a sub. I'm
because
putting Griezmann as a sub.
Lookman is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's tight. Like Griezmann scored a lot of really clutch goals, but if you're looking throughout like the 8 games, from start to finish, I'll definitely give it to Lookman. He's just been, yeah, like
Beyond
everything.
clutch, every game
Yeah,
influencing
no, the thing with Lookman is
the result.
when I first saw Lookman like insane, that was actually the Europa League final. That's when I
Yeah,
first saw him like play insane,
yeah,
and I thought it would be a one-off. Honestly, like I thought he'd be like a one-game wonder. I don't know why. Just part of me was like, oh, he just seems like a one-game wonder. But he's just since then we've already mentioned this podcast, but he's like been excellent since. He's only gotten better. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's the stats show it, right? Lookman's got 5 assists and 4 goals so far. And then you would say De Ketelaere from Atalanta would also be like a good pick, but the problem is De Ketelaere only plays really well.
inconsistent.
Like no, it's not necessarily inconsistent. He only gets the
Really?
standout stats against teams like young boys. No,
Yeah,
De Ketelaere is consistent,
I guess so.
but he only gets like the really good stats against like the smaller teams, whereas Lookman's delivered big performances when Atalanta needed
Yeah.
them all the time. And yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah, you have to agree with that. I think
yeah,
anybody would agree with the center attack midfielder being Lookman. I mean, the only toss up is again Griezmann, but if you're just looking at pure like involvement every single game,
yeah, Griezmann's mostly the goal.
goals, right?
Yeah, Lookman's got goals. He's got involvement. Griezmann's just goals.
Griezmann
Yeah.
is not Griezmann's more about the assist. I think he's more
And
about
the
the
goals.
assist and a couple goals here and there, but
Yeah.
it's more about
Whereas
that
Lookman's
assist
all
and
round.
influence.
Yeah,
Whereas Lookman's more goal
influence.
scorer. I would actually say Lookman's more goal scorer.
But Lookman's just got more influence as well in the center attack.
Yeah, that's true.
attacking
That's
midfield
true as well.
position. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, that's where we're going to Lookman.
Yeah.
Yeah. For left wing, I'm gonna give it to like I think it's so obvious, man. Rafinha.
The only contention would be
So
Vinicius,
pacey,
but
man.
because the thing is,
No.
I think Rafinha could play right wing. I've seen it. I've seen him play right wing. I swear. But if we're gonna go based off of like pure like what position they play all the time, it's gonna be Rafinha on the left wing and then Vinicius as a sub.
No, well, yeah, it's obvious because Rafinha right now he's just an obvious front runner for Ballon d'Or right now.
If they win the Champions League, or
especially if they win the Champions League.
Yeah.
But it's like he's been like multiple big Champions League games. He's been insanely good. Like especially against Bayern Munich, he had the best. Especially that Bayern Munich game, he had the best individual performance the competition has seen so far. I would say that Bayern Munich game, that was like if you're looking for best individual performance in Champions League this season, it was Rafinha in that Bayern Munich game.
Yeah.
And then basically also he scored very crucial, not decisive, but crucial goals for Barcelona in their game against Benfica, winning it for Barcelona in the last minute. And yeah, I mean, he just any time the ball touches Rafinha, it becomes a goal. If you even think about it, even like one of the goals Rafinha scored against Benfica, it was like a free goal where the goalkeeper tried to like clear it, but then it hit Rafinha on the head and it went.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like everything, anytime the ball touches Rafinha, it's gonna be an assist or it's gonna be a goal. It's gonna be something super crucial. So yeah, for that reason, that is why I decided to put Rafinha over Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. has had his moments, but Vinicius Jr. has had his moments, but as I said, super restricted to moments. He hasn't had he's had standout performances, like he had the one against Dortmund, but nothing compared to the one against Bayern. It's a tough one, but I'll give it to Rafinha, honestly. Player 10, you might disagree, but I'm going with Mo Salah.
No. What are we doing with Salah? What are we doing with Salah right wing? I'm sorry, like
No, he's got like
he
really good stats.
he
He's
doesn't make
literally gonna
sense
be
there.
like in terms of stats, he's gonna be on par with Messi in that right wing position at the rate he's going at. Like
I can't
literally.
agree with Salah. I can't agree with Salah because Salah, yes, he might, yeah, he has that goal scoring prowess for sure with him in this Champions League season so far. But again, you take a look at the goals he's and what the scoreline was before he did the goals, or just at the scoreline of the game that he scored the goals. They were already going to win it without Salah. The only moment you have to be honest with where he actually did clutch it up, I guess you could say, is with the against Bologna, but it's Bologna, right? So you would kind of expect them to win it. It's just I guess Liverpool just had a weird match, and Salah, was the only one that wasn't, you know, on that wavelength, I guess you could say, and he did clutch up that one. But generally speaking, you can't go Salah
He got
because
a brace of assists though against Bayer Leverkusen.
it's still but that's it's brace of assists. But again, I think you probably go. It's either Dembele, right? It's either Dembele, just simply due to the fact that he's always been a threat for PSG. Or you go. It's possible you could put as well Yamal. It's very possible you could do so.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put.
I can't in good faith though put Salah there. I'm sorry, I can't.
I'm gonna put
You know what?
Yamal.
You know what I put? Rodrigo. Yep.
Oh, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Yeah, makes more sense.
Would you put Rodrigo over Yamal though?
Yeah,
I was thinking of putting
all the way.
Yamal
Come on. What
Rodrigo?
are we doing? Obviously, Rodrigo's over Yamal. He in himself actually probably is doing better than Vinicius is this season.
Yeah, I mean Yamal's doing better than Rodrigo in La Liga, I would say. But in terms of Champions League, okay, actually, Rodrigo, because he has not. Rodrigo has not gotten enough praise for what he's done. He's so overlooked. So yeah, I'm putting Rodrigo, and then I'm gonna put Salah as a sub.
Yeah, Salah sub. Yeah,
Salah sub.
Yeah.
Okay, so for striker, I don't know. This is a hard one because there's so many like potential candidates. Like you have Jonathan David. I know Canadian bias, but like genuinely, he's been like an elite striker in company with the greats of Europe right now in terms of strikers. But the thing of him is he's mostly scored penalties, so I can't really. I feel so like I can't really. It'll feel so weird if I put him at that number one spot. It'll feel like really big bias.
Yeah.
Coming from me, but he'll get a shout out, Jonathan David. But then also you're thinking like Gyökeres, right? The problem with Gyökeres is he was a great striker first 4 games, but then after that Man City game and after
Ruben Amrabat left,
and that Man City game, he's kind of had a dip in form, at least in the Champions League. So, and we're doing a lineup for the entire league phase, for players who've demonstrated consistency throughout the entire league phase, right?
Days, yeah.
So then you're like left with.
You're left with Lewandowski for sure.
Lewandowski, but then what was you had an issue, what was like we were talking about it. We've mentioned a lot with Lewandowski is he's just scored a lot of tap-ins. It's mainly been like post goals and that stuff.
With Lewandowski, with Lewandowski, I see him as the same. It's the same issue, I guess you could say, with Salah. Salah mainly scores. I want to say Salah scores tap-ins, but the goals he scores are not as influential to the game as, for example, an Alvarez. Alvarez scores so many influential goals so far in this campaign. Completely changed the trajectory of Atletico Madrid in many games when they were losing, right? So that's the problem with Lewandowski. And then also, they were most of the tap-ins as well and pens. You got to be considerate of that. Yeah, he's a top goal scorer, but again, are these goals game-winning? And if he doesn't score it, they're not going to win the game. And are they the most impressive goals? The answer to both of it is no. Right. Both those questions.
Yeah, and then Harry Kane, also give a shout out to him. But the problem with Harry Kane is it's always like he scores a lot of goals, but it's always against the smaller teams, like the Dinamo Zagrebs and things like that. So, like, I mean, yeah, the only really real contenders I have are basically Erling Haaland and Julian Alvarez. Because, of course, Haaland, you got, like, the insane, like, goals. For example, the one he scored against Sparta Prague, which is, like, literally inhuman.
We don't even know how he scored.
I don't know how he genuinely did that. Even Zlatan would not be able to do that genuinely. So, I think I'm honestly going to give it to, like, Haaland will get the runner-up, but I think I'm crowning Julian Alvarez in the starting spot for striker because You agree, right? Because the thing of Alvarez
I would agree with that.
yeah, no, because let me explain. The thing of Alvarez
But
is
Haaland definitely is behind him though.
yeah,
Haaland's definitely behind him, just
but the thing
consistency
of
wise. But
yeah, the thing of Alvarez is especially recently, for example, the game against Bayer Leverkusen. Okay, Atletico Madrid were trailing 1-0. Bayer Leverkusen score right at halftime. Then in the second half, Alvarez he puts a lot of pressure on the Bayer Leverkusen defense. It actually results in one of their players getting a red card. Incapié gets a red card, but that's later in the game. But still, Alvarez he scores 2 goals, and that basically those 2 goals at the end of the game, Atletico only had 2 shots on target. Okay, 2 shots on target. Those 2 shots on target ended up being 2 goals.
Clinical,
so
yeah.
extremely clinical from Julian Alvarez. One of the goals, his second goal, happened at the death of the game in the additional time. And it was a really good goal as well. Like he kind of it was bad mismanagement from between Bayer Leverkusen's midfielder and the defense, and Alvarez pounced on it. He faces the goalie 1-on-1, and he just dribbles past and slots it in. He dribbles past the goalie, right? That takes a lot of audacity and slots it in. And he just got a lot of scrap. He's got that scrappy energy that is perfect as well for someone like Diego Simeone. So he's got that scrappy energy combined with he's got technical ability too because he scored a curler against Slovan Bratislava. So he's got just like so many good assets. He's got so many different strengths from him. He's got the tenacity that's needed to be part of this Atletico Madrid team. That's like very typical of Diego Simeone. But then he's also got the ability to score really aesthetically pleasing, nice goals. So yeah, and also he's just super clinical. We've already mentioned that. And he's scored 6 goals in this competition, and those 6 goals have come from 15 shots. So he's only taken 15 shots, and he scored 6 of those shots. And yeah, that's all I'm saying. He's gone. Also, you can't deny Haaland didn't get Man City out of their sticky situation.
If you think about it, there are many sticky situations. But many sticky situations, for example, the one that they had against Sporting, like did he turn up? No, like it wasn't. I mean, I think he did score a goal, but it wasn't like okay. The game's on.
It was a game changer. Whereas Alvarez, he basically got Atletico out of their early sticky situation. Because remember, for the first 4 games, Atletico weren't doing too well, and Atletico turned it around, and that would be courtesy of Julian Alvarez. So for that reason, over Erling Haaland, we have to put Alvarez in there just for what he's also done, how he's brought the team out of from basically on the cusp of elimination, you could even say, to finishing in the top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
And straight into the round of 16. So I'll give that to Alvarez. And then Haaland in substitute position.
Yep.
Oh, that's looking pretty nice.
That's pretty good. There's a pretty good setup here.
Yeah, we got a pretty good setup.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it looks pretty good. It's Old Big Ears FC.